All right. So speaking of the best teams in New York or New York teams, the only real New York team is the Buffalo Bills, who ended the Kansas City Chiefs undefeated season.
Man, hell of a game.
What would you rather watch the NFL season as it played out, or would you just rather watch 18 weeks of Bills Chiefs? Like, let me know. Like,
I mean, at this point, with what I watched, 18 weeks of Bills Saints or Bills
the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah.
I was talking to another podcaster, and we were talking about the idea of letting the division winners be the only teams that make the playoffs, and go to like a 1-3-5-7 format for the NFL. You would shorten the season, but you would get more playoffs, but at least you would get the good teams versus the good teams. But now you're talking about like literally like in reality between the regular season, preseason, regular season, and playoffs. I mean, you're talking about like a 30-something week season, which will never happen, but
No.
It's a fun idea to think about. Like he said, the Super Bowl should be like best of 3. Like, you know what I mean? You eliminate the wild card, like go back to the original 6 teams, right? Or whatever it was. What is it? Yeah, 6 teams, 2 wild cards and the division winners, and then you play your playoffs. But the Super Bowl would be like a cup. Right, it would be like the best of whatever, you know what I mean? So,
I mean, I'd watch 3 different Super Bowls.
Yeah,
100%. As long as some of them start at like 1 o'clock. Let's be honest here, you know.
Oh yeah. Go baseball route, double headers. How about some football double headers?
That'd be amazing.
That'd be sick. That would be sick. Anyway, so Bert, simple question: best team in the NFL right now?
The Lions.
Absolutely. Thank you. I thought we were going to disagree on this. I did. It's the Lions, right?
It's the Lions, 100%. You know, look, take nothing away from the Bills or the Chiefs. I mean, we spoke at length about the Chiefs last week, and how it was put by you and Dwayne Marcus agreeing is that you can't call them frauds completely, but you can say that by physically watching them, they are not a dominant 9-1 team.
Right.
By watching Detroit, they are a dominant 9-1 team. That is indisputable at this point. And not just because they absolutely demolished the Jaguars. We understand it's the 2-9 Jaguars here. So, but still putting up 52 points and just like going forward. But no, I mean, it's got to be the Lions. They're winning the tougher games too. The week before that, win over the Texans, very good team. And you know, beat the Packers too. So like they're showing that they're showing up against teams with winning records. And honestly, and this is without, I mean, you got to remember Aiden Hutchinson gone, you know, like, so everybody's rallying together. We have been big fans of Dan Campbell since day one.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And just the lunacy that is that fantastic man. And you figure they made it all the way to an NFC title game, and they want back. They've tasted it. They want back. And now is their window when you're looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the 3 teams, and I don't think there's anybody else that's really close. I mean, if you want to put the Ravens in there, but they're not putting in their best player in crucial moments in games, you know.
I mean, for me, if you put the Ravens there, you have to put the Steelers there.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, and
you've got to put the Texans there too. Right. Like, you know, now we're starting to bleed into like, what is the clear top, which would be those 3, right? And then everyone else.
And which is ironic because, you know, you have Josh Allen's worst game against the Texans there.
Yes.
And they win. But I don't think today, you know, that's earlier in the season. I don't think today you would think that would happen. That result wouldn't happen. You know, the Ravens put a whooping on the Bills, but then the Ravens since then have had worse losses to teams than the Bills have had. And the Bills have been undefeated since that Texans game because they lost to the Ravens that week before. Bert, I have some numbers for you. Teams points per game. The Buffalo Bills are 3rd. Really good. Kansas City Chiefs are 11th. Goes to what you're saying, that 9-1. We're not, and it's odd to say fraudulent, but it speaks of they've had a lot of luck go their way, right?
Yeah.
But the Detroit Lions, number 1 in points per game.
Well, I'm sure dropping 52 this past weekend didn't hurt, right?
Twice, 2 50 burgers and then a 47 burger, which could have been another 50 burger if the kicker didn't miss the kick in the second quarter. Total yards per game, Bert. The Buffalo Bills are 13th.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas City Chiefs are 16th. Not surprising because going into the season, they didn't really have any offensive weapons. That was the whole knock on both teams.
Yeah, and then faced a lot of injury too.
And then injuries, right? Now the Chiefs just got DeAndre Hopkins. They're probably going to get Pacheco back here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
And then
He was supposed to be
Hollywood
back
Brown.
like week 9. I don't know what's going on. But
I don't know. And then the Bills had just traded for Amari Cooper, but he's also been hurt. But he hasn't also like taken off. He's had some pretty good catches, but he hasn't had like that demonstrative game that we thought he would have.
Yeah.
But yards per game, so 16th for the Chiefs, 13th for the Bills, Lions 3rd. And then passer rating. And here's where it's funny. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, considered the 2 best quarterbacks in the league. Some people want to throw Lamar in there, whatever. 19th in passer rating, Patrick Mahomes. Not surprising considering that we said that he hasn't looked the same. He leads the league in interceptions. Josh Allen, who started really hot with not having interceptions, has now like 5, or he has a couple. He's thrown a couple.
Does he have 5 now?
He might have a little more than that, but a couple of those haven't been his fault. But the last couple games, I know that he's thrown some pretty bad interceptions, but not nearly at the clip that he had last year.
Oh yeah, he does. He has 5.
He has 5. Yeah, he's given 1 interception in the last 5 games. That's the stat I remembered from the broadcast.
2 against the Colts.
2 against the Colts. But Jared Goff's passer rating 2nd in the league. So it's Jared Goff and the Lions are the best team in the NFC to me by a lot. But when they get to the Super Bowl, the weakest part of their game is supposed to be Jared Goff. The problem is he's having the best seasons he's ever had.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how historically he stacks up to a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes. It just matters if he can continue playing this way. This is a result of what you just said, Bert. Dan Campbell being an excellent coach, my coach of the year. There's other great candidates out there, but damn, Dan Campbell deserves it just as much as Josh Allen deserves MVP. Dan Campbell, we told, hey, when he took over, give him 3 years. I had fans of the Detroit Lions giving up on him after a year. Same old Lions, and this guy's talking about biting kneecaps, and he wants to bring a real lion to practice. I'm like, that's just part of the crazy, man. Like it's like the Jim Harbaugh shit. Like it's just part of the package. Give him time. You need 3 years to turn that. You guys have been bad for 30 plus years. I am so excited for Lions fans. Like this is, and they have a shot to win the Super Bowl. This is not me saying that once they get to the Super Bowl, they have no chance against, let's say a Lamar, if the Ravens decide to fix it up, or the Bills or the Chiefs, or even the Chargers, if they somehow sneak in. Like Justin Hurt, like whatever team the Lions face will be at a disadvantage at quarterback. But what I'm saying, Bert, is it's not going to matter if Jared Goff continues to play at this level and the Detroit Lions continue to dominate on both sides of the ball like they have.
Absolutely agree. There's really nothing more to add to that. I think they have to be a heavy favorite at this point.
Yeah.
Even against a tough AFC top team competition, whether it's the Bills, the Chiefs, or even, Texans, Steelers, Baltimore.
So that's interesting. Would the Lions be favorited in a Super Bowl versus the Chiefs or the Bills? I think they'd be favorited over the Ravens.
Ravens, yes. I can see them, man, that
because the Chiefs
close over the Bills, but I think because of the Chiefs,
that's tough.
I think just because if the Chiefs make it again and they're on the verge of a three-peat, I think they'd give them the advantage because they've been on that stage.
Yeah,
that's it.
Fair.
That's
fair. Really the only thing I'm thinking about when you look at their offensive weapons, quarterback play, as you just mentioned too. Everything else skews heavy Detroit.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, my Bills Lions prediction in our way too early prediction show way back in the summer is looking really good right about now. So
really good. Yeah.
Let's hope they can keep it